What is up, YouTube? It's Crobat for the win here today, bringing you a battle versus IFailAtPokemon from the Smogon Wifi Battle Finder. And I'm using Pokemon I haven't really used before, some new sets and stuff. So I'm going to lead out with my Sableye, which is named Yoda, and I definitely ripped the Killer Nacho off there, so yeah. He leads out with a Fortress, and he goes for the Volt Switch. I went for the taunt just in case he wanted to set up Stealth Rocks or something. So now he goes into the Tyranitar, which is kind of annoying, because now he sets up the Sandstorm. And he switches out because he knows he can get damage on me. And I just go for the Will-O-Wisp, hoping to get something, a good status on something, because I thought he would probably switch. So here I'm hoping that he stays in, because if he stays in, I can get the lagging tail on this thing. And thankfully he does stay in. He's going to lose the leftovers now. And he gets a lagging tail, so he'll always go last. And because this thing's specially defensive, it lives the Shadow Ball kinda nicely, I guess. And I get the leftovers, which is really nice. So, yeah. I'm going to go for Recover here, because I know I can stall this thing out. Barring, of course, any special defense drops or crits or something stupid like that. So, yeah. I think I'm losing a little bit of health each turn. The leftovers will keep me at a good health anyways. Solid yellow. So, I'm going to go switch out. I'm going to go into Heatran because I know that I can take a Shadow Ball very nicely, and I can try to stall this Gengar out. And here, I'm worried about the Focus Blast, actually. So, I do still stay in because I'm pretty sure that I could live a Focus Blast. And he actually predicts the switch back into Sableye, which was... It would have been a good play if I went back into Sableye, so... Oh well, I get my rocks up, which is going to be a major advantage. I just go for the Lava Plume, and because I outspeed because of the lagging tail, obviously. And now he goes into Fortress, and I'm not really sure why, because I thought that the Lava Plume was kind of obvious. And I really thought he'd switch out here, trying to bait the Lava Plume, but he just set up with the layer spikes, so alright. That's fine, I suppose. So he's going to go into, well, I roar him into Jirachi, which is... okay, I mean, not a bad roar. So now he goes into Tyranitar, and I'm not really sure what to expect out of this Tyranitar, because I'm just not sure. Looks like it doesn't have leftovers, so I'm thinking maybe it's Scarfed, and I'm either that or Banded. So he does go for the Stone Edge, and he goes for it again, and he doesn't look like he carries Fire Blast, so I'm pretty sure at this point it's Choiced. And that's a good prediction because he actually misses the Stone Edge twice, which is kind of funny. And that must mean he's Scarved. So he's going to go into Fortress, and I don't really want to let this thing set up with a Skarmory because I can't hurt it. So I'm going to go into Heatran now, and I know I can scare it away. This time I'm deciding to go for the Lava Plume because I know even if he sends in Tyranitar, it should be fine because I can try to get a burnout on it. And I actually don't, which is kind of bad. I knew he'd do that, but oh well. So I'm going to switch out here, switch out again. I'm going to go into Skarmory, because I'm predicting a Stone Edge or an Earthquake. And he does go for the Stone Edge, and it actually does a lot. So I'm actually sure that he might be Banded now too, so probably Banded. So goes for the Whirlwind, and this guy comes back in. It's annoying Fortress. And yeah, it's just gonna get like a lefties war there. And I'm gonna go for a Roost here just in case he decides to go for the Volt Switch. And I'd like to get close to my Sturdy. So he does go for the Volt Switch. I lose my Flying type, so it really doesn't do all that much. Even with my Flying type, I doubt it would have done anything. So he goes into Magnezone, and yeah, Magnezone. So it has Magnet Pull. This one does not have Analytic, and he just KOs me with a Thunderbolt, and that's kind of sad. I should have predicted that better, but oh well. That's life. So, I'm going to go out into Yo Hands Foo. This is Alakazam, and like I said, I'm trying new pokes out, so I'm trying this Alakazam. I'm predicting him to switch, so I do go for the sub, which was pretty nice. And he goes into Fortress, and I know that I can hit it with a Focus Blast, and I'm hoping that it won't miss, but of course it does miss. And he goes for the Rapid Spin, which gets rid of the rocks. But I do get to keep my sub, which isn't too bad. So I'm going to go for the Focus Blast again, and thankfully with its negative 6% accuracy, it does hit. And it's really sad because I think I could have 2-hit KO'd here. And of course, because I missed the first Focus Blast, I couldn't. So here's another Focus Blast, and it KOs the Fortress, which is really nice. So He gets an extra layer of spikes thanks to that miss. Oh well. So I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball, and I probably could have went for the Focus Blast, but I really did not want to risk the miss. So I get the special defense drop, which is kind of cool, but not really going to do anything because I'm going to have to switch out here. So I'm going to actually go for a sub, predicting him to switch, predicting me to switch, so that's pretty cool. He's going to go for a Body Slam, and that's kind of predictable. I predicted that or an Iron Head, most likely that. So I'm going to switch out now. I'm going to go into Heatran, and I know this thing can take the Paralyze okay because it's not really a fast sweeper at all. Unfortunately, I do get the Paralyze, but I know that even if he wants to stall me, the Iron Head won't do anything because I dual resist it, and I'll be able to get an attack off eventually. But he does decide to switch, not even bother doing any of that. So I'm just going to go for the Stealth Rock again because I know it's going to be helpful in the game. So he goes out into Terrakion, and that's kind of scary because I'm pretty sure this thing's Scarf. And I go out into Yoda again just because I wanted to fodder it to see what he'd lock himself into because, like I said, I always predicted these things are Scarf first. So I have a Ditto that's also Scarfed. So he does switch out, leading me to believe that he might not be Scarfed. So I do go for the Close Combat and the switch, and I actually decide here to switch out because I'm not confident that I can 2-hit KO the Jirachi with a Close Combat. I decided to go for the safe play, go into Heatran, and that was a pretty nice play because he just goes for the Iron Head. Only does like 21 or 20, 30, whatever, something like that damage, and that's pretty nice. And after leftovers, I think I actually gained a little health. So I predicted to switch into Terrakion, and I decided to go for the Lava Plume, hoping for the 30% chance to burn, but I don't get it, so that's, oh well. Now I'm going to switch out because I don't want to take a close combat. I'm going to go into Latios, Sonichu. I know I have this Latios has a Scarf, so I can outspeed even if he's Scarfed. So his close combat does about half, which is kind of sad, but what can I do? He's going to go into Tyranitar now, and I'm going to go for the Surf because anything on his team's hit pretty hard by it, even this Tyranitar. And it actually does not KO, and I was kind of surprised by that, but at the same time, the Surf will 2-hit KO, and I'm Scarfed. So that's pretty nice. And it's getting weakened by a Sandstorm a little bit here, but I'm just going to go for the Surf again, hoping that I can KO this thing, but I wasn't confident. I probably should have saved it. So I'm going to lose my Latios here. He just lives with red health, and I don't have anything to immediately counter this Terrakion. So I'm going to go into Alakazam because I just really want to make sure this thing's Scarfed, and I know it's Scarfed now that he outspeeds and kills me with a close combat. So that's great information. So now I have to rely on a speed tie to win. Do I win the speed tie? Because this is my Choice Scarf Ditto, copies the speed, and I do win the speed tie. So that is a clean sweep for Ditto from here because the rest of his team is weak to close combat, or at least is KO'd by it. So that really came down to the wire. I fail at Pokemon. It was really good battle, so just gonna have his Jirachi KO'd by a close combat, and then Magnezone's going to get KO'd by a close combat. So yeah, not much else to say here. It was, like I said, a good game. So I hope you enjoyed some of the new pokes that I used. Like, I really enjoyed using Sableye. I thought it was really fun. It's kind of good with the lagging tail or the iron ball. So anyways, rate, subscribe, and comment, guys, and peace out.